Reporting live from the epicenter of the global entertainment industry in 2026, we're witnessing a sharp structural anomaly, where digital growth metrics no longer correlate directly with the emotional satisfaction of music consumers. According to comparative data from major audio streaming platforms, the release volume of AI-generated tracks and automated pitch correction has surged by over 60% in the past 12 months alone. This phenomenon has established hyper-precise pitch standards within recording laboratories, yet conversely, it has triggered a massive loyalty deficit within the live performance sector. Post-pandemic audiences repeatedly complain about the loss of a human touch in major concerts, which now feel more like playing a backing track synchronized with automated lighting systems. It is within this highly mechanical and automated landscape that Angelina Jordan emerges not merely as a singer, but as a compelling subject of cultural investigation. Internal reports from several independent promoters confirm a shift in audience interest, as listeners grow weary of artificial perfection and steadily seek out figures who dare to display raw, honest imperfection. Western media reports initially assumed this digital wave could not be stopped by a single artist, but strategic moves by Jordan's management team early this year indicate systemic resistance against the mainstream current. On a technical stage level, the industry's massive reliance on vocal-altering technology has actually degraded singers' natural vocal sensitivity when facing massive stadium sound systems, which in turn diminishes their raw breath control and articulation. Therefore, Jordan's stance in the middle of this algorithmic storm marks a crucial starting point in reshaping where the future of vocal music will head throughout 2026. Peeling back the layers of her live performances, there is a consistent visual element that casual observers often misinterpret as a mere marketing gimmick. Angelina Jordan's decision to always perform barefoot, whether during vocal testing sessions or formal concerts. An investigation into the philosophical background of this habit reveals a deep personal commitment made years ago during her childhood, when she met a shoeless young girl on the street and promised to voice the struggles and hopes of the forgotten through every vibration of her voice. However, from the perspective of live performance mechanics, this barefoot choice yields a highly significant impact on the audio output generated on stage. Acoustic engineers and live sound designers explain that direct contact between the soles of the feet and the wooden stage surface provides much higher somatosensory stability for a singer, directly influencing spinal alignment and diaphragmatic posture. This solid geometric body positioning allows the volume of air from the lungs to flow without mechanical restriction, producing a much rounder and more stable vocal resonance, especially when executing long vibrato techniques in open venues. Some media reports previously assumed this habit was merely a theatrical stunt to capture camera attention. But documentation of her stable live performances without electronic aids proves a scientific correlation between organic physical comfort and pitch precision. By keeping this tradition alive in 2026, Jordan not only honors her past promise but also maximizes body biomechanics to create a pure sound transmission completely free of digital intervention, an asset that has become an absolute rarity on modern pop stages. Journalistic records tracking Angelina Jordan's career development note a radical operational turning point when she decided to transition fully from a child prodigy, known for replicating classic jazz tracks from the Billie Holiday era, into an independent artist holding full control over her copyrights and lyricism through her Old Enough EP project. This transformation upended the entire business roadmap previously laid out for her by industry executives, shifting from an interpretive model of vintage catalog music to the creation of a deeply personal narrative pulled straight from her private diaries. On a technical level, changing from performing well-known jazz standards to original material laden with raw emotion drastically altered the artist's vocal articulation dynamics. Investigations into her latest song structures indicate that writing more personal lyrics forces her vocal cords to adopt a wider spectrum of timbres, where the emotional weight on specific words is instantly transmitted into low-frequency fluctuations capable of vibrating the microphone membrane without needing excessive studio compressor manipulation. Industry insiders initially speculated that the market would reject this maturation phase due to the loss of her childhood novelty factor, but ticket sales data and audience engagement metrics showed the exact opposite trend. This shift in momentum proves that having the courage to voice one's vulnerability through self-written lyrics creates a brand new leverage point that no artificial intelligence can replicate, reinforcing her status as a fiercely independent news subject in 2026. The fundamental question now overshadowing discussions among music analysts is this: how high is the real price a young singer must pay when she consciously rejects the instant success formula offered by major record corporations to protect the purity of her vision? Industry investigative reports reveal an invisible tension occurring behind the scenes following the end of Jordan's strategic partnerships with major labels, as the mainstream industry structure tends to isolate artists who refuse to bow to mass production standardization. Major labels generally demand algorithm-friendly compositions, short track lengths under 3 minutes, and massive external producer intervention to ensure a song lands on major digital streaming playlists. Jordan's decision to navigate an independent path in 2026 automatically cuts off her access to multi-million-dollar promotional budgets, yet technically grants her absolute sovereignty over her stage repertoire. Free from corporate dictates, she is liberated to utilize full live instrumentation in every performance, bypassing the pre-recorded backing tracks that modern pop artists routinely deploy to mask vocal deficiencies. Some industry observers assumed this countercurrent move was a form of commercial career suicide, given the tight grip major label distribution holds over the global media ecosystem. However, this systemic friction only strengthens the narrative of authentic struggle she champions, turning her into a symbol of resistance for a new generation of musicians who refuse to be turned into soulless factory commodities. Entering the middle of the first quarter of 2026, our newsroom received confirmation regarding Angelina Jordan's management decision to book a series of live performances at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino, a historic theater renowned for its strict acoustic standards but equally unforgiving to performers lacking physical endurance. This gamble triggered a fascinating contradiction in data among promoters. Ticket prices were set at premium levels equivalent to stadium-scale pop concerts that feature hundreds of laser lights and giant LED screens, while Jordan's technical stage specifications were reported to be hyper-minimalist, completely devoid of computer-generated effects or backup dancers. This visually stripped-back stage design brought immense technical consequences for live vocal performance, as the complete absence of visual distractions forced the audience's entire attention within the theater to center absolutely on raw vocal accuracy and dynamic sound control. In a Las Vegas entertainment landscape typically dominated by grandiose, hyper-artificial spectacles, presenting a show that relies solely on vocal purity is a high-stakes gamble that could destroy an artist's reputation in a single night if even a minor vocal failure occurs. Several entertainment critics and local media assumed that a show lacking grand packaging would fail to meet the high sensory expectations of Vegas audiences. Yet, it was precisely within this vacuum of visual distortion that the true power of Jordan's vocal projection was tested live, creating a definitive arena to prove whether an authentic human connection could conquer the dominance of modern entertainment technology. Live reports from inside the Las Vegas Theater Auditorium recorded a crucial moment that became an emotional and physical crisis point for Angelina Jordan when she began performing a sequence of extraordinarily difficult arrangements, such as Run to You and This Is a Man's World, back-to-back without any significant rest periods. At this exact juncture, the momentum of the performance underwent a heavy emotional shift, where the audience's relaxed demeanor instantly turned into absolute tension as they realized the singer was pushing her physical capabilities to the absolute limit without any electronic safety net. From a technical audio analysis on site, Jordan's refusal to use real-time pitch correction or external autotune meant that every fluctuation in breath, vocal cord fatigue, and air pressure changes in the room was instantly audible to thousands of spectators. The real consequences on her vocal apparatus were immense. Her laryngeal muscle endurance and vital lung capacity were forced to operate at the highest level of efficiency to maintain volume control on high notes without sounding strained or piercing. Several audience members and acoustic observers in the front rows reported a very real perception of high-risk pitch failure, an organic tension that is virtually impossible to find in modern pop concerts that are pre-programmed by computers. This stage crisis was no longer just about artistic aesthetics. It was a demonstration of physical endurance showing how a human being's emotional honesty is tested under the glaring spotlight and massive public expectations, drawing a sharp line between studio-manufactured singers and true live vocalists. While most industry observers predicted that the simplicity of the performance format would ultimately lead to audience fatigue, a highly dramatic reversal of situations occurred on the Westgate stage toward the end of the show. Post-concert interview data uncovers a hidden fact: the complete absence of digital manipulation, massive LED screens, and computer synchronization was precisely the main reason the performance managed to touch the deepest emotional chords of the audience present that night. The presence of Jordan's raw voice, unfiltered by modern software, acted as a deconstructor of contemporary music standardization, triggering a powerful psychological response where the audience felt liberated from the artificiality of digital content they consume daily. Technically, the pure vocal resonance generated from Jordan's diaphragm proved capable of filling the theater's acoustic space more efficiently and organically, creating natural sound pressure level variations that interacted directly with the room's architecture without causing listening fatigue for the audience. Post-event media reports implied that the evening served as empirical proof that the public in 2026 does not crave sterile visual perfection, but rather a realism in performance that possesses a human soul and vulnerability. This surprise overturned entire modern marketing theories, stating that concerts without grand visual effects cannot compete in the premium market, while marking Jordan's success in reclaiming the true essence of musical communication. The immediate fallout of the Las Vegas performance quickly triggered a first wave of repercussions that expanded into digital spaces, creating a highly confusing data contradiction for the algorithms of video sharing platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Based on our digital metric monitoring, amateur videos recorded by audience cell phones with raw audio quality and zero studio editing experienced a much higher organic surge in views compared to official music videos costing millions of dollars released by major label artists during the exact same week. This phenomenon points to an anomaly where internet users actively seek out and share content displaying unpolished live recordings laden with genuine emotional resonance, directly challenging the hegemony of content meticulously curated by corporate marketing machines. From a technical audio standpoint, the characteristics of cell phone recordings capturing Jordan's genuine vocal frequencies inside the room provided authentic proof to digital viewers that the artist's vocal quality was not the byproduct of post-production digital editing manipulation. Speculation among digital media analysts implies that the marketing model of the music industry in 2026 is undergoing a highly radical shift in direction, where content authenticity is beginning to displace hyper-polished visual aesthetics. The organic distribution of these raw recordings indirectly built a powerful public relations campaign for Jordan, expanding her narrative to all corners of the globe without requiring a single cent spent on conventional advertising costs. A vital question arising from this digital explosion is, how can a global fan community sustain its growth independently without the backing of mainstream publicity machines or heavy rotation on commercial radio? The answer is visible in how Angelina Jordan's fan base reconstructed itself throughout 2026 into a collective network driven purely by emotional attachment, rather than fleeting trends. Management capitalized on this momentum by organizing highly intimate, unscripted live interaction sessions such as casual live streams from the beach, where Jordan communicated and sang spontaneously in response to requests from loyal fans. From a business sustainability perspective, the high loyalty built through authentic connection yields a highly stable technical impact on long-term live performance ticket sales, liberating the artist from a reliance on single hits that are often volatile on digital charts. Some industry observers assumed that this proximity-based community model had a very limited growth ceiling and would struggle to achieve mass scale. However, physical attendance confirmation data from fans traveling from various countries to every concert proves that this ecosystem is far more resilient to market trend changes, creating a brand new blueprint for future independent musicians looking to break free from the control and exploitation of the conventional entertainment industry. In conclusion to this in-depth report, the entire chain of events surrounding Angelina Jordan's journey in 2026 marks a fundamental momentum shift in the history of popular music development, where she is no longer viewed merely as a talented former child singer, but has solidified her position as a pioneer of the authentic music movement. Jordan's fight to maintain an authentic connection through raw vocal performance and independent management is ultimately a cultural manifesto establishing the final frontier of humanity within vocal art, amid an era of artificial intelligence and creative automation that continues to erode the value of originality. Looking at the technical future of the industry, Jordan's commitment to utilizing real instruments and maintaining vocal accuracy without electronic pitch-altering aids will serve as a quality benchmark for live performances, separating high-value artwork from mass-consumed, instant products. The history of musical evolution may well record 2026 as the crucial turning point, where the market and the industry consciously realize that no matter how advanced computer code technology becomes, it can never replicate, degrade, or replace the genuine emotional vibration born from the soul and vocal cords of an honest human being. From the Global Entertainment News Studio, we will continue to monitor how this independent movement inspires the restructuring of the music industry moving forward, ensuring that our creative spaces continue to voice the invaluable purity of human expression.